yoga correctly, your orgasms become easier and much more powerful and joyful sounds. And they believe you've got to do process exercises to get rid of all of your past trauma and all of your sexual conditioning. And that's a good practice. It's time consuming and there's no end to that. A lot of people say they work out all their karma from this lifetime and suddenly they're working out karma from their last lifetime. And Tantra Yoga is about this lifetime. Do the practices that awaken the sleeping consciousness in each of the 7 chakras from bottom to top to move blocks in the conduits or nadis that carry energy from the chakras to the physical body. And that energy tends to make one younger than their years, healthy, and a tremendous amount of sexual energy. Now, if you think sexual energy, that must be bad. You'll be horny all the time. But sexual energy is the creative energy, creates life itself. So it's used in practices of manifestation or sex magic. I don't like to use the word magic because it scares some people. But using your mind, your thought, your breathing, your intentionality, and your purity, knowing that what you're requesting, you're worthy of. And my life has been filled with miracles where I have asked and I have received. And I teach as one of the practices in my Tantra Yoga classes, sex magic. But I also teach breathing, which is an essential component of powerful lovemaking. I teach about the energy body, because if lovemaking in your physical body is something you like, when it's in your energy body too, it's more powerful, more beautiful. You're radiant when you finish the sharing of making the two become one. So here I am now, supposed to be retired. I was going to teach one more year and then COVID hit. And I discovered it's really kind of nice to not go all over the United States and world. And I've been doing the Tantra Crusades since '78. So that I figured I'd put my time in. And if I'm supposed to still teach, I'll get that word. I've spent the last 3 years fighting a type of cancer that's very rare, sarcoma. And here I am, a miracle looking at you.
Charles, we celebrate that.
We celebrate that miracle.
Very, very much.
Absolutely.
You mentioned COVID, so I'm just going to say, in all that you teach, many of the relationships we hear maybe have gone cold during the quarantine. What can you tell us something about how perhaps to come out of that?
Yeah, well, when you're quarantined with the person you've married, you don't get the 8 or 10 hours where you're apart. And every relationship brings to it its unique karmic relation shit. And you trigger each other and you push each other's buttons. And that's part of what helps us grow as a couple, working through that stuff. So couples are stuck with each other and now they've got the kids to educate. And the first thing that falls is the sex. And they push each other's buttons and they don't even want to have sex. he withholds his intimacy, she withholds her sexual Shakti or sexual energy. And the longer you do that, the further you part as a couple, the less connected you are. Tantra brings you into connection. So during COVID, spending 6 months when I was getting ready to die still, I created 6 movies. I had done my most advanced Tantra seminar, my level 5 instructors from all over the world, saying, I want to teach the secrets I have been told not to teach. And did in that course and led them through a series of classes. You know how there are yoga sequences where you go from one posture to the next and then to the next posture, and then you do pranayama and then you do backward bends. Well, in Tantra, over the years, I cultivated sequences of metaphysical foreplay, of how to touch, how to kiss, how to embrace, using the energy system, using the chakras, coordinating the breathing, bringing all of the consciousness, the focus to the practice. This is the most important thing to do every day, to connect. It's not about orgasms, nice if they happen. It's about us putting the world aside and creating love from wherever we are. We could start shut down, I got a headache, I don't even love you anymore. And that's where a lot of them are during COVID. And I created 4 of those classes, each one of them more advanced, and 2 white Tantra or Laya yoga classes, where I taught the secrets my master had taught me and said, this is secret technique. You are not to teach this to anyone. Mm-hmm. If you teach this technique, next lifetime you will be cockroach. So I took some chances, and those classes were extremely powerful. And during COVID, I had filmed those back in August before COVID. I made them into movies. I added a soundtrack. I planted in the background the yantras, the geometric symbols of power that lie within each of the chakras that activate the chakras. And I used special effects to show the energy that moved chakra to chakra. And they are the most powerful yoga classes anyone could find. If one does hatha yoga, very often they don't even add the pranayamas. They don't make it a meditation. They make it more and more physical in nature. And these are physical exercises. They give you benefit, but they're also geometric poses of energy that you go into, and that brings your mind to the chakras. And there you keep your focused mind and you breathe in particular ways. There's a whole series of pranayamas. So my advanced students have been loving those classes. And some of those couples that hadn't connected during COVID said, this is miraculous. We start out so shut down, and you get us bringing our bodies together, connecting the chakras, and you get us harmonizing our breathing. And then you slowly get us do things. Instruction in touching that's metaphysical, beyond physical touch. And by the end of the 20 minutes or 40 minutes or 60 minutes, we can't wait to get to bed because we were closed at the start of the practice, and doing the class opened us up.
Charles, is this
so? That's
would this work then into your truly what you do for a living, which is sexual healing techniques? using over 40 years, I know, of experience. Is that all part of it, or is that something else?
I have other programs that teach about sacred spot massage, a term I developed. It was not an ancient Tantra practice. You learn a Tantra not from a book, but from practicing it. And I lived a rather outrageous life as a single tantrika. And then I married a most outrageous and wonderful triple Scorpio. And we lived an extraordinary lifestyle. She would find women that needed my healing and bring her to our temple, and I would do this sacred spot ritual. Now, sacred spot or G-spot massage or yoni massage has become a worldwide movement. They have different names and they teach the beginner components of it, but they've usually learned it from someone who learned it from someone who learned it from someone who took a beginner's course with me.
Yeah.
So it's a little watered down. And I have the footage, the more advanced sacred spot footage that I'll be working on when I get back to California after a nice vacation and a visiting time, where I demonstrated everything. And everything happened in a session that could happen. There were areas of pain inside the sexual center. There were pockets of powerful suppressed emotion from trauma in their life, or simply the misinformation we're given about sexual energy in our upbringing, that it's bad, that it'll take you to the devil, that it should only be done to create a baby. But I think one of the recent popes said Catholics can enjoy sexual love, but not excessively. We're about excessive. We want it big, beautiful, so that you grow in love over the course of your time together. And that's what I'm doing now, as well as marketing these new creations that none of my people know about yet.
Charles, I'm sure that the release of all these new things that you're letting out is tied in with your remission of cancer.
That's right, it has to be. He's 85% cancer-free.
Yes.
And it's not apart from what he teaches.
Yeah.
No, the prognosis is a complete cure. And I really don't care if it's all of the people who love me praying for me, if it's my own inner work, if it's keeping my body alkaline and lots of oxygen and eating mostly the correct thing. I figured if I was having cancer, a little sugar was okay.
I love that. Charles, before we run out of time, where can people find out more about you and anything you want to say about, perhaps you have a website or any gifts or thing?
Our website is Source, like the source of all light. Tantra, spelled like Tantra, but it's tantra.com. And on that, you'll see the free offer for the first of the practice tapes that I created during this period. I figured I'm going to give the first one away. And I also gave away a movie we created some 25 years ago and spent almost $250,000 producing, showing things that had never been shown. And it's actually 20 years later where I broke even. So I decided, let me give this away. It's still the most beautiful movie on Tantra. and the most educational. So on our homepage, it says free offer, and there's that, and I don't know, 6 chapters from my new book, and old videos, and a link to 85 YouTubes that each teach something. So you can learn a lot from going to the website. There's 78 media articles where I made each of those writers come to the course if I was going to let them write about it. And that always changed what they perceived. It, some of them had amazing experiences. And my book, Tantra, the Art of Conscious Loving, which I'm imaginarily holding up right now, it's in its 30 year of continuous publications.
Wow.
It's selling more than it did its first year, 8 languages, and it's available in paperback now. You can find it online, used copies of the original edition signed by Charles at one of his courses. So it's still one of the best introductory books to Tantra, the Art of Conscious Loving, and that's its name. And the website has all of my babies, all of the things I've created over these 42 years. I guess it's 8 videos, 2 movies, 2 Hollywood movies were based on my work. And you have links to all of that stuff if you have nothing else to do. But if you watch those YouTubes and you watch these free programs and you practice, you'll know the value and the beauty of this ancient art that I had the honor and the audacity to start teaching in my yoga curriculum. And they so loved it. And people came out of the woods. We want you to come to our city. We want you to come to the Big Island. We want you to come to Houston. We want you in LA, where I taught the movers and the shakers of Hollywood about how they needed to put more love in their lovemaking scene, keep their eyes open, and speak words of love and not close their eyes and pound for 2 minutes, because that's sex, and sex is a biological force. Lovemaking is a learned skill. And I urge everyone, if you are sexual, to learn the art of sexual tantra, the art of conscious loving.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and I want to remind people there is also another website called the artofconsciousloving.com. So that's another website for people to go and check out. And sexual energy isn't just about having a partner. I think, Charles, you opened with that statement that it is about oneness and creating that within you. And sexual energy applies to so much more in life than just the physical act of lovemaking. And you really are a pioneer in teaching these methods and bringing up a topic that, for I guess when it was started and even today in some cultures, is taboo.
Even today in our culture, we're such a Puritan nation. I mentioned that before. Just the idea that we want to talk about it today, I'm sure there was flack about it. And so I am so pleased that you've done the explanation and we could see you. And for all of your years, Charles, thank you so much. We are actually out of time. So I just want to say one more thank you very much, my friend, for coming all this distance and being with us.
Thank you for having me and introducing to your people this work, because it's the chakra with the most shadow where we need to do the most work.
Yes.
And it awakens the most consciousness because it's connected to all the other chakras.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I guess it's time for our 10-minute break.
Yes, it is.
And so we'll all see you in 10 minutes for the Circle of 12. Welcome back, everyone. You know, it was great to have Charles, and the subject that he has brought up and the whole idea of tantric